All right, I have April with me today, and April is kind enough to come do a sound demonstration for us at our clinic next Tuesday. Is that the 10th?
Yep.
December 10th, next Tuesday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Registration is required, but I wanted April to come and just do a brief interview just to kind of give us a little bit of a snapshot of how you got into this, what even is a sound bath, because I know there's people out there who are like, sound bath, I don't understand that, what is that? Yeah. And some of us kind of think we know what it is, and others know exactly what it is. So April is here, and I'm just gonna kind of hand it over to you and say, if you don't mind, start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into doing sound therapy, sound healing, sound baths.
So, hello, I'm April Pope. I am internationally accredited through the Sound Healing Academy, which is based in the UK. I have been interested in sound healing for a few years. Like, I knew there was something more I wanted to do. So I'm also Reiki certified and go to different kinds of workshops and stuff that are kind of considered woo-woo or whatever. But I've gone to sound healing sessions where I could do a deep meditation and felt the benefits for myself, just relaxation and stress relief, and like being able to get out of my head, like, you know, your monkey mind kind of thing, and just really relax. So that was really interesting to me. And then I saw the opportunity for a class in Cedar Rapids, like a level 1 through the Sound Healing Academy, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and it's really close to home, so why not give it a whirl? And then it just kind of bloomed from there. Like, I just was like, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do. I've had a variety of different jobs in the background over the past, but like for a long time, my main focus was stay-at-home mom and taking care of children, and then caregiver, being paid as a caregiver and everything. And so I've always had that kind of helping spirit, I guess you would say. But the last few years I have been working more in retail, part-time, just for something to do, because I like people and I like to interact with people and I like to be helpful. But when I went to this class, it just like all of a sudden was like, oh, that's what I've been looking for. Like, it was just like that. Like, I went back to work and told the boutique owner, I was like, hey, and she was like, yeah, I think that's really, yeah, I can see that in you. So it's just kind of bloomed since there, and I've been working on growing my business really this second half of this year. Sound Healing with April, just trying to keep it simple on my name, and
so Sound Healing with April, like if we go on Facebook and put that in, or we go on Google and put that in?
So Facebook is where I have a business page right now. Website coming, in the works.
Okay.
Not fully there yet, but yeah. So Facebook, Sound Healing with April at gmail.com if you want to send me an email. But Facebook, and then on Instagram, just under April Pope, I do my advertisement as well. Yep.
Okay, and you do pop-up kind of classes here or there?
Yeah, so like I'll do the pop-up here. I have this weekend a pop-up in West Branch. I have classes in Coralville, and that's what the type of thing I'll advertise and put out on Facebook. Normally, if I do a class, it's usually 60 minutes and $25 a person, but I also do individual, and you can come to my home or I come to you, which is what I prefer. It's just more personal if I come to you. And then I can do all kinds of things that are tailored just for you. So.
Wow, I feel like I learned a lot in that one little section. So I think my favorite part about that whole story was the part about how where you just felt like you wanted to go to the class, didn't really, you know, it wasn't like you had to, but then when you were there, it's just like it lit a light bulb for you. Would that be kind of a fair
that would be
summary?
Accurate. Yeah.
I love that. So, and you listened and you followed that pathway. tell us a little bit about what sound healing is. What is a sound bath? You also threw out the word Reiki.
Oh, okay.
And I
Yeah.
think that some people, more people are getting to know what that word is. But I think let's just, if you don't mind, tell us what that is too.
So Reiki is like an energy that you can have activated within yourself. There's a couple of different kinds. And basically, if you rub your hands, and sometimes you can do this and you can feel the heat between, it's the energy. So sound healing also goes into, it's energy work. They're both energy work.
Okay.
And so everything is vibration. If you break it down to the basic level, everything is vibration, matter, energy. And so with Reiki and both sound healing, you're working with the energy to move maybe stagnant or stuck energy out and bring in good energy, more productive energy. So for me, the basic, like my nutshell for sound healing is, it's an ancient technique. Think about drumming circles way back when, before there was any modern technology. We had drumming circles, we had chanting, we had singing, all the natural things. I just gave myself chills. I'm like, ooh. You had just all that natural energy and natural healing. And so it's just becoming more and more in the mainstream now to seek out alternative ways other than medicating. So with a sound bath, so for a group, everybody comes in, they get comfortable. You could bring a yoga mat, blankets, pillow, whatever. I say to make yourself a nice cozy nest. And then you just snuggle up. I do a guided meditation at the beginning where I just talk you through like releasing the stress in all your muscles. Like imagine a ball of light and then it just rains down healing energy on you. And if you can't imagine that, that's fine. Still think about releasing your scalp muscles and your jaw and your shoulder. So I do that at the beginning. And then most of the time, I've started doing it like while I strike a drum really slow, or a Himalayan, the metal bowls, just so you have like a rhythm, kind of almost to like a nice cadence.
So it's kind of like what you're, sorry to interrupt, but
Okay.
what you've told me so far really makes me feel like you're combining this idea of progressive muscle relaxation and almost some yoga nidra, deep sleep, kind of stuff along with your sound and vibration.
Right.
Is that
Exactly.
fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the vibrations, if people can let go of their everyday worries, you can change your brain waves. You can get down into theta and do all this work. And so through the program I went through, we learn how to like set it up so you get people in relaxation, and then you do different instruments and sounds to get people to release. And we also talk about intention. So a lot of people come into their first sound bath with the intention of relaxation or stress relief. But then as they progress, they're more like, okay, now I really understand and I want to work individual, or maybe at this one, I want to release the anger I have towards so-and-so. And so they can think about that and think about releasing while they're listening to the music. And then just hopefully the goal is that they've released that anger towards whatever. So, or if you're doing individual and you're like, oh my gosh, my wrist has really been bothering me, then I can do specific things to help release pain in your wrist. And it might take, a few sessions or whatever, but yeah. So it's much more in depth than just, playing some gongs and stuff.
Yeah, so I have so many questions.
So maybe next Tuesday when we have more time.
Yes, okay. I got the hint, but I'll sneak in a few.
Yes.
So I work with chronic pain as a chronic pain specialist, and pain is a very complex experience, and it can be a real experience and that is occurring. It can be a perceived experience, and it involves multiple systems in the body.
Yep.
And so the stuff that you just described with regard to not only the vibration, but the mood that you're setting and the intention and the thought process behind all of this is really like I said, you threw in concepts of yoga nidra, you threw in concepts of progressive muscle relaxation, and you threw in concepts of cognitive behavioral therapy without the talk part. And, you know, when we look at best evidence-based treatment for pain, it's multidisciplinary in nature.
Mhm.
And what you just told me was multidisciplinary in nature. It gets things from multiple angles.
Right.
And I love that. We need more of that intervention. And maybe, yes, medication, maybe no medication. Either way, you can add this to that
Exactly.
healing effect. And that's brilliant what you do. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm like, oh yes.
And you know, I think there's probably still some people who are going to listen to this and be like, oh, energy, oh, vibration.
Right.
Okay,
So
we're turning this off. But stay with us, because there's science behind this.
There's science behind this. So there are, I can't cite you any, I'm not good at memorizing that
It's
kind of
alright.
stuff.
We can look at
But there are studies with sound and music therapy with brain waves, and think about like we've all seen like in a movie or something where they play somebody's favorite song and they come out of a coma. Well, there is actually science behind that, like playing that different music. So playing the different vibrations can stimulate relaxation. It can stimulate cell regeneration. It can, like, all the different levels can do all that thing. So what I do at a basic sound bath though is like I mostly go in with the intention of relaxation. Unless we have a specific group of people that are here for whatever, like alcohol recovery or something, and then we can, you know, all have the same intention. But like for our general just getting started, I will play everything is relaxing and there is some releasing, and everybody's usually just all curled up in a pile of mush at the end of the session, and I'm like, okay, you can wiggle your toes and fingers whenever, and nobody moves, and I'm like, yes.
We all need relaxation therapy, so
yeah.
that's a great purpose to kind of focus on.
Yeah, and then there's people that will you know, want to keep coming and stuff, and that's what I love. But I love also the people that are just curious and want to just dip their toe in, but they don't know what to do, but they know, okay, so like I'll play a drum and I play singing bowls and I play gongs and stuff. So some people sing. I'm not that brave yet. But yeah, so it's,
So I have a question about all the different things. It's all safe. There you go.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
all
good.
safe. And
You're in a safe space.
You're in a safe space. And even the last one I did was at the Williamsburg Library, and I did when I started my muscle relaxation. Since it was a different type of group, you know, I did include that in my beginning speech of you're in the library, everybody is safe, and I talked about, you know, the library is always a safe place.
Yeah.
Like that's a safe haven.
Super. So I wanted to go back to some of the instruments that you talked about that you play, or the equipment, I guess. I've been to one full sound bath in my life, and it was great, but there were definitely some instruments that I was like, oh, that's fingernails on a chalkboard. And I try to be in tune with my body, and I was like, that makes me nauseated to hear.
Right.
But you know, it didn't go on the whole time. And then there were other sounds that I was like, I'm out. You know, this is like I'm sleeping for hours kind of a feel, but I'm not. I'm awake, but I'm so deeply relaxed. That's a sensation I can't get to very often in my daily life.
Right.
So what's the purpose of the fingers on a chalkboard sounds? Can't we just have the put me to sleep the whole time?
Do you know what instrument it was?
I don't remember.
Don't remember.
So I think it had a lot of little bells, and you were like scrape like
jingly chimes. Sometimes that's to break up energy. Like if it's like there's a chime that's like yeah, that is like to shake things up and release and stuff. Sometimes a gong can do that for people. Like if you hit it really loud and it crescendos, you know, like you can build up, and then it wobbles, and then that's releasing. So for me, like I can't do regular tuning forks. The pitch is just too high. It literally hurts my brain. And at the very beginning, even some of the higher notes of the crystal singing bowls, but now I can do them. So I think, this is my theory,
Yeah.
that is something that you, like it's something you need to release. Like it's like a trigger. It's something you need to release and let go. So whatever the high
It definitely
pitched,
was a trigger.
the high pitched crystal
For
singing
something.
bowls were, now I'm fine with.
Okay.
Like I've worked with it enough now that I'm like, oh, that's good. I have not tried tuning forks on myself yet. I can do the weighted tuning forks, which are perfect. So those are like a tuning fork, and then they have weights at the top, and you can activate those, and then like I can put it on my wrist, or you can do like pinpoint vibration, and that's like a one-on-one thing. That wouldn't happen in a group.
Okay. As you were talking, it made me think of, you mentioned pitch. So what about people who have hearing aids? And so they're gonna have amplification of certain, I would think, now I'm not the expert in hearing aids, but I think some of those pitches are going to be amplified in the ranges that they can't hear. And then how does that affect them?
So it's not even, so it'd be up to the individual if they wanted to turn their hearing aid up or down or whatever, but it's really on the vibration level. So it's not necessarily like you have to hear the sound, but it's the vibration. So if someone falls asleep, you're still getting the benefits of the vibrations all in. And like I've had people who are like, afterwards, they're like way across the room. And they're like, how could I feel that, what you were doing 20 feet away? How could I feel that way over here? Like you were standing over me, but I wasn't. Like I was still over here. I do walk around a lot during my group sound baths, but not with the bowls.
Okay.
With the drum and sometimes with the little wind gong. But yeah, and they're always like, what? How did that happen? So even if you're asleep or if you have a hearing aid or hearing impairment, you can still, most of those people can still feel vibrations. And so they would still get the benefit in that way. And if it was something, if they know that their hearing aid squeals like with a high pitch, then I would probably just ask them to turn it down beforehand or whatever.
Okay.
So,
yeah, fascinating. So, another question for you, and you know, no pressure on this one, but if you wanted the general public to know one thing about sound healing, what would it be?
My one thing would be, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Try something new. Everything, like for me, the biggest thing right now is everything is energy. Everything is vibration. Like you can, like even now, you know, like people are like, it's giving whatever happiness, or the vibes in here are not right. Like that's slang. Now it's vibration. Everything is vibration.
I love it. So I'm thinking now we need to have you back. So next Tuesday, the 10th, register if you want to come because space will be limited. Bring a blanket and pillows and your nest so you can just set up a nice little nest. And I think, you know, for that one, April has graciously offered to kind of do a demo and we'll answer questions and kind of do stuff like that. But then I think we're gonna probably schedule her to come back for an actual full session. And that will have a fee associated with it, but it will be well worth that fee for your nervous system and for relaxation and all the benefits that you can get from the sound healing experience. So I'm excited. We'll have to have you, we'll have to schedule. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you guys enjoy listening to this short interview, and we'll see you next Tuesday night.
Thank you so much.